Welcome back to the Miami Sports Vibes YouTube channel here for my Week 11 picks and predictions, both straight and against the spread. Listen, things have been trending up right now, 95 and 59 with the record straight and 74, 77 and one push against the spread. Records got to get better. It's been trending up, but man, I mean, the beginning of the year was just so damn weird, but let's just keep climbing. Let's keep on climbing. So week 11 starts with Thursday Night Football. We got a dandy here. The Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia is at home here. This is going to be I think this is going to be an entertaining game, man. Eagles are favored by 3.5 points. Washington, obviously, coming off, a couple shaky performances there, to be honest. But I think the Eagles are trending up right now. I like the Eagles to win this game, especially at home, but I'm going to pick the Commanders to keep it close and cover the 3.5 point spread. I think it's a 3-point finish. Division games are usually tough. Remember, the Commanders have had a solid season thus far, so I'm going to give them respect. That hook right there, that 3.5 has me feeling like it's going to go, the Commanders as far as covering, but I got the Eagles straight up on that one. Next game, the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Detroit Lions, who are, in my opinion, the best team in football at this very moment. Remember, I have picked them to go to the Super Bowl, and they are just looking like they're definitely going to do so as of now. Obviously, things can change. Injuries can change this whole thing. They are favored by 13.5 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is a huge spread, man. But are we really going to not take that? I mean, Jacksonville is freaking awful. I mean, they look bad. I feel like they're a team that's getting worse and worse each and every week. Listen, I'm going to take the Lions, and I'm going to lay the spread of 13.5 points. In the NFL, that's crazy to lay. But, man, the Lions just look too freaking good, man. They're winning in all kinds of ways. I mean, last week they were doomed. They were set to lose, and they won that game. So shout out to the Lions, man. Next game, the Packers taking on the Chicago Bears. Chicago is at home. Packers are favored by 5.5 points. Listen, the Bears are a team that's literally confusing as hell. They are inconsistent as ever, but one thing that remains consistent is their head coach. He is terrible, and even the fan base has turned on him. Caleb Williams has turned on him. I mean, the fact that you lost to the New England Patriots, but then you beat other teams, it's just so inconsistent of how the Chicago Bears season has been. And they have a pretty solid defense. Listen, man, Packers are the better team here. Packers are way better coached. I'm going to lean on that, and I'm also going to lean on I'm going to lay the 5.5. So give me the Packers and the Packers minus 5.5 on that one. Next game, the Los Angeles Rams taking on the New England Patriots, who just beat the Chicago Bears. Listen, Drake May, he looks better than I expected him to be, man. I mean, the dude is solid. He's moving the ball. He's improving week in and week out. I think their head coach over there in New England sucks, but Drake May, I mean, he's solid, man. I think that the spread, I mean, it opened up, I believe it was 5.5. So now it went to 4.5. It might even go down to 3.5 by game time. I think there's a lot of respect leaning towards Drake May's favor here. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Rams to win this game. I think they're the better football team, and they need to bounce back after the loss to Miami. But I like the Patriots to cover the 4.5. So give me the Patriots plus 4.5. However, the Rams to bounce back and get the dub. Next game, I'm excited for this one. The Cleveland Browns taking on the New Orleans Saints. Why am I excited? I've mentioned so many times. I enjoy watching the Cleveland Browns play for some reason. I don't know why. Like I said, it's more towards their defense, obviously. I just enjoy the way they play defense, man. So, obviously, they are, the Saints are favored here by 1.5. Listen, I'm going to take the underdog, I guess. I'm going to take the Browns, and I'm also going to take the Browns plus the 1.5. Browns coming off the bye week. I think they got some fresh legs. They need to get something brewing here unless they're just down to tank. I mean, I don't understand what's going on there, but this will be a telling game. So give me the Browns on that one. Next game, Minnesota Vikings taking on the Titans. Vikings are favored by 5.5 points. Listen, what in the world? I mean, the Vikings were playing with fire. They almost lost that game to Jacksonville, which would have been so damn embarrassing. I mean, they ended up winning 12-7, which is also embarrassing. Darnold was throwing picks. Like I mentioned, the Jaguars have been looking worse each and every week. But the fact that you played so bad and Jacksonville still couldn't win, there goes to show you. Like that result was just embarrassing. I expect the Vikings to I think highly of the Vikings. All right. I think they're a better football team than what they displayed last week. And I think they bounce back here. All right. They have to treat that as if it was a loss because you got to come back and put a better product on the football field this Sunday against Tennessee. So give me the Vikings to win this game on the road and give me the Vikings laying the 5.5 as well against the Tennessee Titans. Next game, the Indianapolis Colts taking on the New York Jets. The Jets are at home. They're laying 3.5 points. Again, the Jets are favored, even though they've been a disaster all damn year. Losing to Arizona, what was it, 31-6? They were down early in the game. Like the Jets are doomed, man. Like, and it's funny to me, man, because the Jets fans are hilarious. They always seem to get so optimistic in the offseason. They talk their team up like if they've been here before. Their playoff drought is just like, what, 16, 17 years? It's ridiculous. They thought this was going to be the year. Then it was Salah's fault. No, not really. Then they got Devontae Adams, even though their problems were on the defensive side of the football. That didn't matter. And I'm enjoying watching Diva Aaron Rodgers and this Jets fan base just continue to look idiotic. I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I don't know how they're favored again. I've been picking them to win and they're losing, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of joy off that. So I'm going to pick the Jets to win this game again, but I'm going to take the Colts and Joe Flacco to cover that 3.5 point spread on that one. But yeah, too bad, Jet fans. The next game, the Vegas Raiders taking on my Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are at home. They're coming off a win against the Los Angeles Rams on Monday night. Listen, I think the Dolphins absolutely win this game. The Raiders suck. The Raiders are tanking. The Raiders don't want to win. Give me the Dolphins to win this game. You saw what happened last year when the Vegas Raiders came to Miami. Jalen Ramsey had a huge game. We took care of business. I expect the same thing to happen here. Give me the Dolphins. I'm going to lay the 7 points as well. This defense is playing out of their mind under Anthony Weaver. I think Weaver continues to dial it up. He has so many great numbers and so many great trends, going his way. I think this is a perfect game to just keep boosting those trends. So give me the Dolphins and the Dolphins minus the 7. Next game, the Ravens taking on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Man, this is going to be good. The Ravens are the favorite by 3 points. Wow, I'm kind of shocked on there, especially with the Steelers at home and the way they've been playing and in first place. Listen, the Steelers look good, man. Their defense is obviously great. Their head coach is freaking awesome. And now Russell Wilson is starting to actually sling the ball, kind of look like old Russell Wilson a little bit. Listen, I give so much respect to the Baltimore Ravens. Their defense, however, is sus. All right. They give up a ton of yardage through the air. Their offense is awesome, man. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. The list goes on and on. This is going to be a hell of a game. This game is the battle for first place. Everyone is definitely going to be tuned into this one. I'm going to take the Ravens to win this game in Pittsburgh, but I'm going to take the Steelers to keep this within 3. I think you're going to get a physical matchup. I also lean towards the under 48.5 for those wondering, but give me the Ravens and the Steelers plus the 3. Next, on to the 4 o'clock slate, you got the Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Niners are favorite in this matchup by 6.5 points at home. The Niners haven't looked great this year. It's been a little bit shaky. They got CMC back. Listen, I'm going to take the 49ers here. I'm also going to lay the 6.5. These two teams played earlier. San Francisco won that game. I thought Seattle had a chance to win it, but they didn't. This time you're at home. San Fran needs some get-right games here, man. They got to take care of business. Give me the Niners and the Niners minus 6.5. Next game, the Atlanta Falcons. Wow. Taking on the Denver Broncos. Check this one out. The Broncos are favored by 2.5 points. You asked if this was a game on week 1, I don't think the spread will be this way, but that's literally credit to Bo Nix. He's been playing better. They almost beat Kansas City last week, which is crazy. And their defense has been freaking solid. The Falcons, they have been a solid-looking team, but they're a little bit more inconsistent as to Denver. Denver is also at home. I think that plays into their advantage. Give me the Broncos and the Broncos minus the 2.5. I think their defense gets those timely stops on Kirk Cousins and ultimately bounces back and get a win. Also, keep an eye on that game, Dolphin fans, because we're competing with them for the playoff spot. Next game, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Bills in Buffalo. Man, I'm so excited we get this game in regular season form. These teams freaking hate each other. These teams have a rivalry, and Mahomes always seems to own the Buffalo Bills. And Mahomes takes this game so serious. When you have the Chiefs as an underdog, they have done it every time. He gets up for these type of games, and I think he does it again. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs straight up and give me the Kansas City Chiefs plus a 2.5. I get it. Buffalo hasn't beaten these guys in forever. Buffalo's at home. Kansas City is due for a loss. Yo, you got the 9-0 Chiefs as an underdog with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. That's too much value to pass up, man. Like, it would be stupid for me to just sit here and take the Bills at minus 134. Give me the Chiefs with the money line in a bet and give me the Chiefs here on my picks against the spread and straight up. I have to go with it. And if I lose the game, it's like pat on the back. Like, okay, you got me. But man, way too much value there for a team that's undefeated and a team that has Patrick Mahomes and has owned this team. I'd rather go with that, man. Next game, the Sunday Night Football matchup between Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, two young quarterbacks who, man, I mean, are freaking awesome, man. Both of these teams have been playing better. The Chargers have been playing solid all year, but the Bengals have been playing better as of late. Joe Burrow's been on an absolute tear. I'm excited as hell for this matchup. The Chargers are favored by 1.5. They're at home. Man, this is a tough one to call. Man. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Cincinnati Bengals, actually. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win this game and the Bengals plus the 1.5. I really like what the Bengals have done offensively. However, their defense has been sus, but the Chargers offense hasn't been really clicking on all cylinders. They're a little bit old school traditional when it comes to running the ball and kind of moving that ball offensively. They lean more towards their defense. I think the way Joe Burrow has played, I think Joe Burrow comes into this spot. They need to bounce back. They need this win. They absolutely need it. And this is huge for playoff positioning. This is going to be a great game. Very underrated game, I feel like. Give me the Bengals to win this game. And then Monday Night Football, closing it out with the Houston Texans taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott is now out for the season with a hamstring injury. Things look crazy over there in Dallas. I mean, they're done. They are done. Nico Collins should be coming back for this matchup. They don't have to travel far. Houston and Dallas is right there. They're in the same state. Give me the Texans to bounce back coming off a terrible loss to Detroit. And I'm also going to lay the 7.5 in the Battle of Texas. And those are my Week 11 picks and predictions straight up and against the spread. If you're tailing these, best of luck. I appreciate you guys tuning into this episode and these videos as always. Please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button, please, to support the channel. I will catch you guys next week. Let's see how I do. Let's keep trending up. Best of luck, everyone. Week 11 of the NFL season. See you guys next week.